Hi guys, it's Mrs. Bippis here. I'm just going through the next part of your assignment. So I wanted to show you how you're going to do part two. Part two is going to be all about the parts that say clarifying the question and pre-bucketing, and then also actually looking at the documents. Now, you're probably looking at the screen going, wait, this isn't my assignment, but this is actually just a sample that I'm showing you. And I chose something that I knew you would know something about. So this way you can get an idea of the type of things we're looking for. So I chose this sample about what underlying causes of World War I were, just so you can kind of get an idea how this part's going to work. So when you do yours about, how did the U.S. contain communism, you know where you're going with this, and hopefully it'll clear up some questions. So for this tab, where you're going to do clarifying the question and pre-bucketing, you just have a short amount of questions on the top. It says, what is the analytical question asked by this mini Q? All you're doing in that part is basically telling me what's the title of this essay. So you'll be rewriting kind of what the title is of your essay right in this spot. What terms in the question need to be defined? You need to tell me a little bit about just like, are there any words in the actual question that might not make a lot of sense? So for example, in this one, if you didn't know what the word underlying meant, you might just want to put that down here. Like, I might want to look into that before I actually start doing my work. Then you're going to be doing, it says, rewrite the question in your own words. So again, just rewriting the question in maybe a different manner or a simpler way, that might help you out. Then when you get to the bottom, there's a button that says pre-bucketing. Bucketing is really, in a short way, just kind of putting some of your information that you're finding in different categories. So later when you go to write your essay, hopefully it'll be easier to kind of put everything into different paragraphs. Pre-bucketing, it says using the clues from the question itself, what kind of categories do you think there might be about this? And I'm going to show you my little teacher side, just so you can see what types of things you can be writing in here. It's pretty straightforward. Let's see. So, for this pre-bucketing, it just says, give me one cause, two cause, three causes. Again, just to kind of put things into different categories. Now, from World War I, we use that acronym MAIN a lot. So for this one, if you read the pre-background essay, you might be thinking, ooh, maybe I can make one box about militarism, one box about alliances, and one box about nationalism. And then maybe you could use those clues as you're reading along. This is really just to get you to start thinking about, how am I going to break up my essay down the road? How am I going to break this up into 3 body paragraphs to clearly show what were the underlying causes of World War I in this case? For you, because you're doing how did the U.S. contain communism, your starter talks about Korea, talks about Cuba, so you can already get an idea about separating things by different countries they're talking about. So that's a little hint for you. So for this page, that's pretty much what you're going to be looking for. I'm going to go back to my student side, because the student side is all you're going to see. I get to see both. Once you're done with that, you're going to actually start looking at all of the documents. So you have much less documents than this one does. You have 4 documents to look at, I think. For this one, it's got about 6. For each of the documents, though, it's going to look pretty much the same way. So here's document A. It's giving you a map. It's a map all about alliances. That can give you a little clue. And then on the bottom, there's a couple of document analysis questions. So you'll just use the picture or whatever it is that they might have here to answer some analysis questions. This is what you're going to start building your paragraphs on later. So it's important to take your time and to make sure that you're adding in the information you need. I'll show you another one. Here's another document. It might not be a map all the time. It might be a chart. So here's another chart. You're going to answer the questions, and you have a box right here where you can type in. You don't even have to worry about adding in a text box. I'll give you one more sample. Here you go. This is part of a speech that was given. So again, it's going to be all different types of things to use. And again, you're just going to answer your questions right in these boxes. So this is going to be really the first thing that you're going to do for our second part. You're going to look at the documents. And before you look at the documents, you're going to understand and question and pre-bucketing. And that's what you're going to be doing on Thursday. And then it will be due by our next meet, which should be Monday. So you'll have plenty of time to work on any of those. But we'll be here if you have any questions. So please let us know.